Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to iQuanta. This is day 22 of NMAT SNAP revision series, and this is going to be another session of quantitative aptitude. Till now we were able to cover questions from number system and permutation and combination, logarithm and percentages, and now it's turn for profit, loss and discount. Now, this topic is heavily dependent on the concepts of percentages, like how do we convert a fraction to percentage value, percentage to fraction, or comparing two quantities like x is what percent of y, x is what percent more than y, x is what percent less than y. Then comes successive percentage concept and multiplication factors. So, all of those are applicable here apart from the formulae. Those are required to solve questions from profit, loss and discount, like the relation between simple interest, relation between cost price, selling price, mark price, discount percentage, profit percentage, loss percentage, markup percentage, all of these, right. So, I have taken few interesting questions which will make sure that you have a revision, a good revision of all the parts of profit, loss and discounts. So, I hope all of you guys are ready, right. Hello Nivedita, Katyayani, Arushi, are you guys ready to solve some really good profit, loss and discount problems? If yes, then let us start with our first question today. Okay. Now, in case of profit, loss and discount, if you have forgotten, try solving these questions, but in the meantime you should also understand this triangle. Okay. This tells us all about profit, loss and discount, cost price, mark price and selling price, the relation between them. If you apply markup percentage to cost price, you are getting mark price. If you are applying discount percentage to mark price, you are getting selling price, and if you are applying profit or loss percent to cost price, you are again getting selling price. Hello Shivam, Paris. So, from there you can find every formula that is required here, like mark price is equal to cost price into 1 plus m by 100, MP is equal to CP into 1 plus m by 100. Then you can find the value of SP. SP will be cost price into 1 plus P by 100, right, and selling price will be also equal to MP into 1 minus D by 100. So, all of these concepts, if you try solving the questions, and most of the formula that you will need can be taken from this triangle and this triangle only, apart from the concepts which are based on faulty measurements, right, or cheater, cheating shopkeeper, right. So, all those questions are different questions, and we are also going to try some questions on that. All right. Hello Arpit, good afternoon. Good afternoon Ashutosh. What's the answer? Option A. All right, let's check this. It says by selling 12 marbles for a rupee, a shopkeeper loses 20%. What we can say? The cost price is equal to 1 by 12, right? What will be the selling price? So, selling price is nothing but cost price upon 1 minus L by 100. So, in that case it will be 1 by 12 into 1 minus 20 upon 100, which will be equal to 1 by 12, and this is nothing but 4 by 5. So, 5 by 4, which is equal to 5 upon 48. Now, it says in order to gain 20% in the transaction, so new selling price, what will be the new selling price? So, 5 upon 48 into New selling price is 20% more. So this will be 120 upon 100. So this is equal to 6 and 5. 5 cancel out, 1 by 8. 1 by 8 rupees per marbles. So what we can say, it will be 8. A total of 8 marbles should be sold in 1 rupees to gain 20% profit. But apart from this, this can be solved very easily if you understand the selling price and cost price in terms of percentages. Selling price 1 is 12 marbles in 1 rupees, right? In this case, we can say that selling price is 80% of cost price, right? And then the SP2 will be X marbles in 1 rupee, and in that case selling price is 120% of cost price, right? So the ratio should be equal, right? The ratio of the number of quantities should be just opposite to the ratio of the percentages. So what we can say, 12 upon X will be equal to 120 upon 80, or we can say X is equal to 8. You can directly use that here, right? Or we can also say that here that say this is getting 3 by 2 times, selling price is getting 3 by 2 times. So quantity will be divided by 3 by 2. अगर selling price double हो जाए तो quantity half करनी होगी. अगर selling price triple हो जाए तो quantity 1 by 3 करना होगा, है ना? So selling price is becoming 3 by 2. So quantity will become 2 by 3 times, and 2 by 3 of 12 will be equal to 8. So this is a very direct way to solve this question. You can solve this orally if you try solving questions like this. Okay. So we don't need to find the cost price and then the new selling price and then number of marbles sold in 1 rupees. You can use this concept. Okay, chalo, let's go to the next question, which is this one. Three successive discounts of 10%, 12% and 15% amounts to a single discount of, what's that single discount? None of these, Sumit. What's the exact value that you are getting? Everyone, what's the exact value that you are getting? 32.68%. Okay, good. 32.68%. We need to take three successive discount, minus 10%, minus 15% and minus 12%. So take the successive of 15 and 12 first. We can take it in any order. The result will be same. If I take the successive of these two, it will be minus 15, minus 12 plus 15 into 12 upon 100, which will be equal to minus 27 plus 1.8. That is equal to minus 25.2. Now take the successive of these two, minus 10, minus 20.25.2. If I take the successive of these two, minus 10, minus 25.2 plus 10 into 25.2 upon 100, right? So, this we can cancel out easily by 10, cancel out, remove the decimal, it will be another 0. So, what we are getting ultimately is minus 35.2 and this will be plus 2.52 and that is equal to, make it 20, it is easier to calculate. 0 minus 2 is 8, then 9 minus 1 minus 5 is 6, 34 minus 2 is 32. So, minus 62.68%. So, answer is none of these. Option B was very close to it, but that's not the correct answer. So, that's good. This is how we can find the successive, or you can also find the successive using multiplication factor, right? 1 minus 0.9 into 0.85 into 0.88, but this is much calculative, right, with respect to this successive. This will also give you the result as 0.3268, but again this is much better solution. Okay. Using fraction, why do we need to use the fraction? Like in case of fraction, what are we saying, that use the fraction in this case? इसमें फ्रैक्शन यूज करना है या इसमें यूज करना है? You can use that here, right? 1 minus, for 10% discount it will be 9 by 10 multiplication factor, for 15% discount 85 by 100, for 88% discount 88 by 100, but that will be very calculative. So why do we do that? है ना, ऐसा क्यों करना है? Time waste सिर्फ. Okay, let's go to the next one. Option C, a reduction of 20% in the price of sugar enables a customer to obtain 2.5 kg more for 160 rupees. Find the original price per kg of sugar. So expenditure is constant here, right? We have discussed this. If A into B is constant, then if A decreases by 1 by x, then B will be increased by 1 upon x minus 1. What is 20%? 20% is nothing but 1 by 5. So this value has decreased by 1 by 5. So this must be increased by 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 of total weight is equal to 2.5, or the total weight is equal to 10 kg. So the price will be 160 upon 10, that is equal to 16. So और कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है इसमें. We can solve this directly. We have discussed this in the previous class, right, of percentages. As expenditure is constant and the price is decreasing by 1 by x, 1 by 5. So the weight, the consumption should be increased by 1 by 4 to keep the product same, to keep the expenditure same. So this value is increasing by 2.5 kg. So previously total weight was 10 kg. So how many of you use this concept as per previous class to solve this one? बताओ, कुछ भी वेरिएबल लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ भी एज्यूम करने की जरूरत नहीं है ना? आर्यन, पेरिस, चलो बढ़िया, वेरी गुड. Okay, then let's go to the next question. Direct formula, yes, this can be solved using the direct formula, है ना? Two items, same selling prices, right? One with X% profit and other with X% loss, then we say overall loss will be equal to X square upon 100%, right? There will be an overall loss and that loss will be equivalent to X square by 100%. It says two motor cars were sold for 9,900 each, gaining 10% on one and losing 10% on the other. The gain or loss percent in the whole transaction is, so what we can say, loss is equal to 10 square upon 100%, which is equal to 1%. You can use this direct formula here. Answer is option D. चलो, सबको आता है ये, बहुत अच्छी बात है. Now let's go to the next one. Forgot this formula. कोई बात नहीं, अब तो आ गया ना समझ में. यस आर्यन, प्रैक्टिस तो हर तरह के क्वेश्चंस की होनी ही चाहिए. Now in this question it says a cycle agent buys 30 bicycle for 3150, of which 8 are first grade and the rest means 22 are second grade. Find at what price he must sell the first grade bicycle so that if he sells the second grade bicycle at third quarter of the price, he may make a profit of 40% on both the type of transactions. Means the transactions where he is selling first grade bicycles, the transaction where he is selling second grade bicycles. The profit should be 40% in both the transactions, means overall profit should also be 40%, right? Overall profit should also be 40%. So let selling price of first grade is equal to x. Then what will be the equation? Total selling price will be 8x plus 22 times. Now it says the second, he sells second grade bicycles at third quarter, means 3 by 4. So this into 3 by 4 x, this should be equal to, there should be 40% profit. So 3140 into 1 plus 40 upon 100. This should be the total selling price. Now from there we can say 4 into 8 और इसे 11 से डिवाइड कर देते हैं तो ये 2, 16 plus 11, it will be 27. 16 plus 33, 49. So 49x upon 2 is 3140 into, ये कितना हो जाएगा 7 by 10, right? It will be 147 by 5. So from there we can solve this very easily. We need to find the value of x. This is 7 times 7 into 4 times, then 3, 4, then again 4 times, wait a second, 28, 3, 4, क्या गड़बड़ हुई है, 3150 है ना, ओके, वही मैं सोचूं कि गड़बड़ हो तो गई है कुछ. So it will be 7 times 4, which is 28, 3, 5, so 5 times, so 4, 5, 0. So 2 into 5 will be 10, 7 by 5. So question क्या है? Both 49 by 2 or x will be equal to 5 into 900 बटा 5, 180, right? x will be equal to 180. ठीक है, 5 कटेगा. हाँ ठीक है, ठीक है. So answer is option C. This is 90 times and then you can multiply it by 2. वो 3150 की जगह 3140 ले लिया था बाय मिस्टेक, तो प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी. करेक्ट, इजीली कैंसिल हो रहा है सब. कभी कभी ईजीएस्ट कैलकुलेशन में भी दिमाग फालतू का घूम जाता है ना. दैट्स वाई यू नीड टू प्रैक्टिस एवरी लेवल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. ऐसा नहीं कि बस कैट लेवल के क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं तो इजी लेवल के क्वेश्चंस में इजी कैलकुलेशन या कुछ इजी कॉन्सेप्ट लग रहा है तो ऐसा लगता है कि कुछ मुश्किल सा क्वेश्चन है, राइट? सो इसलिए हर तरह के क्वेश्चंस की प्रैक्टिस होते रहनी चाहिए. ओके, नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द चीटिंग शॉपकीपर, राइट? और यू कैन से फॉल्टी मेजरमेंट्स. Paris, not all the questions, but some of them, yes. Now in this question there are two types of profits, right? One of them is by increasing the cost price. So cost price is 6.4, selling price is 8, so there is some profit there, है ना? And then apart from that by adding water there are also some profit percentage, है ना? And taking those together will be our successive percentage result, which is 37.5%, right? So this is how it goes. If you mix X% water, it says a dairyman pays 6.4 rupees per liter of milk. He adds water and sells the mixture at 8 per liter, thereby making 37.5% profit. The proportion of water to milk received by the customer is, so one way to solve it, see, total profit is 37.5%, which is nothing but 3 by 8, right? 3 by 8. Now if I say that it's 3 by 8 and the selling price is 8 and the water that he is mixing is X, so what we can say, total selling price will be 8, let's say milk is 1, water is X, and this will be equal to 6 into, now 3 by 8 is profit, so 1 plus 3 by 8, this will be, if you try to solve it with the equation, so from there we can say this will be 3 times 2 and this will be 4 times, so it will be 4 plus 4x is equal to 3 plus 9 by 8, or we can say 4x will be equal to, this will be 7 minus 1, so 1 by 8, और x will be equal to 1 by 2, कुछ गलत हो गया है ना, something went wrong, एक मिनट, let me check, 4 plus 4x, 3 plus 9 by 8, 11, 24 और 9, 33, x लीटर वाटर है, राइट, 1 लीटर में x मिक्स कर रहे हैं, 8 इंटू 1 प्लस x शुड बी इक्वल टू 6 इंटू 3 बाई 8, सही होना चाहिए ये तो, सो 4 प्लस 4 इंटू 2, 3 इंटू 2, 4 प्लस 4x इज इक्वल टू 3 प्लस 9 बाई 8, 4x विल बी इक्वल टू 1 बाई 8, x इज इक्वल टू 1 बाई 2, कुछ गड़बड़ है, x इज इक्वल टू 1 बाई 32, क्या गड़बड़ हो गई, नहीं, दैट्स वाई आई डोंट सॉल्व लाइक दिस, है ना, कुछ तो हो गया है चलो ठीक है, छोड़ो, देखो अगर इसमें x लीटर वाटर है, लेट्स से वाटर इज x लीटर and the milk is 1, right, milk is 1, we need to find the ratio, right, so total selling price, what will be the sales is at 8, आई एम श्योर कि ये मेथड भी काम, अच्छा 6.4 था, 6.4 था गाइज, इट शुड बी 8 इंटू 1 प्लस एक्स, दिस शुड बी इक्वल टू 6.4 इंटू 1 प्लस 3 बाई 8, now you can see this will be very easy, 4 times 5 times, so from there we are getting 5 plus 5x is equal to 11 by 8, so 44 by 8, or it will be 20, 11 by 2. Now you can get the answer, 5x will be equal to, so this minus this is 1 by 2, or x is equal to 1 by 10, है ना, so the water mixed, it will be 1 by 10, it says the proportion of water to milk received by the customer, so out of 1 milk there will be 10% water, 1 by 10, है ना, now so answer is 1 by 10, but in other way to solve this, see, SP is equal to 8, CP is equal to 6.4, we can say profit 1% will be equal to, so this is 1.6, 25%. If water mixed is X%, mixed water is equal to X%, then we can say second type of profit will be X%. जितना वाटर मिक्स कर रहे हैं उतना परसेंट प्रॉफिट होगा. Now successive of these two should be total profit, which is 37.5. So it will be 25 plus x plus 25x upon 100 is equal to 37.5. देखो अब ये काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग है. 1/4, so 5x by 4 will be equal to 12.5 or x is equal to 10. So the second profit, which is by mixing only water, is 10%, or the water mixed is also 10%. Getting my point? The water mixed is 10%. All right guys, is that clear now? है ना? 10% और 25% का जो सक्सेसिव होगा वो 37.5% होगा. It says the proportion of water to milk received by the customer is, although I guess 1 वाटर होगा और 10 मिल्क होगा, है ना. इससे भी कर यही ये ज़्यादा यूजफुल है. इफ देर आर मल्टीपल सिनेरियोज ऑफ प्रॉफिट, okay, there are 2-3 ways or 4 ways to make profit, then you should use this successive part. Apart from that, you can also use the multiplication factor concept. Okay, in case of multiplication factor concept, what you should use, see, SP upon CP, overall SP upon CP is equal to, this will be, so instead of what is the investment, 6.4, what's the return, 8. Now in case of milk, 1 is the milk and what is return he is getting, so 1 plus x is milk plus water, and this should be equal to 11/8, right. This is the total ratio of selling price upon cost price, the ultimate ratio. From there you can also solve it. This will be 5, this will be 4, 1 plus x is equal to 11/10, or x is equal to, it will be 1. So 1 upon 10, right? This will be 1 upon 10. You can see here 1/10 part. You can also use this. So there are multiple methods to solve these type of questions, but if you have multiple ways of making profit, you can use these two. In this one, you will have to use profit percentage in each case and use the successive, but this is the best method. If you have 3 scenarios, 4 scenarios, then you can use this one, and in one go you can find the answer. Multiplication factor method is best, correct, है ना. What you need to do, you need to make each case, for each case there will be investment, there will be return, so return upon investment, return upon investment, return upon investment, and then multiply all those. One line answer, correct. Okay, so now guys, the train is leaving the station. Okay, we are starting our NMAT SNAP batch, and live classes will be happening 5 days a week. All right, 20 full mocks, 10 NMATs and 10 SNAP, 4,000 plus practice questions, 27 for doubt solving, mentorship session by toppers. For all the details, you can go to our website and you can check all the details. The link is given here, or in the description also the link is given. So you can see that even you are practicing for CAT, and NMAT SNAP are good options, right. You should have some backups as well, and not only backups, these 2 exams have some really good colleges that you can get into. So just get into this course if you are looking to crack it. All right, now time for the next question. Sumit, yes, definitely you can do that question under 1 minute. You can use the third method, the multiplication factor method. You can solve it within 1 minute very easily. But again, for that you need to know that method clearly. How do we use that method in case of investment and return concept? This question says the cost price of 20 articles is the same as the selling price of X articles. If the profit is 25%, then the value of X is. So, what we can say, selling price of one article upon selling cost price of one article will be equal to 5 by 4, right. So, if the selling price of X articles we are talking about, 25% profit SP upon CP will be equal to 5 by 4, right, because of 25% profit. 1/4 profit is 1/4. If cost price is 4, selling price is 5. So, what we can say that 20 times 4 is 25 times X articles, right. Sorry, 20 into 4 is 25 into X. So, X will be equal to sorry, ये तो सीधा डायरेक्ट कंपेयर हो गया. It should be the cost price of 20 articles. So, cost price is 4, selling price will be 5. So, what we can say, 5X is equal to 20 into 4, or X is equal to 60. So, answer is option C. Okay, the ratio is given. You can also solve it in this way, that 20 CP is equal to X SP, or we can say that SP upon CP is equal to SP of one product, CP of one product will be equal to 20 by X, and that is equal to also 5 by 4. So, from there as well you can find X is equal to 60. $1.25 into 1 by 20 should give the price to be for profit. Okay. Yes, that is also correct. Sure. Let's try this question. Answer is option D. Correct. A departmental store receives shipment of 1000 shirts for which it pays 9,000. The store sells the shirts at a price of 80% above the cost for 1 month, and after which it reduces the price of the shirt to 20% above the cost. The store sells 750 shirts for 1 month and 50% of the remaining shirt afterwards. So 1000 minus 750 is equal to 250, and 250 by 2 is equal to 125. So 125 shirts are sold at 20% profit, and 750 shirts are sold for 80% profit. How much gross income did the sales of the shirt generate? So what we can say, total sales will be equal to, now the cost price of each of them is 9 rupees, right? Cost price of each of them is 9 rupees. Then it will be 750 into 1 plus 80 by 100 plus total 125 will be sold at 20% profit. This is what we need to calculate, right? This is what we need to calculate. Now, if you calculate that, you are getting 13,500, right, which is option D. Now, calculation is very easy, it is not very difficult. First of all, in this case, I have taken the cost price common because it will be 9 rupees. You can write 750 into 9 into 1.8, then 125 into 9 into 1.2. So, take the 9 common, and then rest you can take the common 125 as well, and then it will be very easy to solve. You can take 125 common, right, and then you get to solve this very easily. This will become 9 and this will become 1.2. Yes, Sumit, your answer is correct. See, that is why I have taken 9 common. You can take 125 common as well. So, answer is option D. बताओ कोई डाउट है यहाँ पे? Guys, if you have any doubts here, then let me know. No doubts? Okay. Then let's try this question. 3.5% profit. Yes, 3.5 is correct. A company blends two varieties of tea from two different tea gardens, one variety costing 20 rupees per kg and other 25 rupees per kg in the ratio 5:4. What we can say, that cost price will be equal to, so 5:4, 20 into 5 plus 25 into 4 upon 5 plus 4. So 100, 200 upon 9 rupees per kg. This will be the overall cost price per kg, right? He sells the blended tea at 23 rupees per kg. Find his profit percentage. Find his profit percentage. So what we can say, that profit is equal to 23 minus 200 upon 9. So 207, it will be equal to 207 minus 200, it's 7 upon 9. This is the profit. What we can say, profit percentage is equal to 7 by 9 upon 200 upon 9 into 100. So 0, 0 cancelled out, 9, 9 cancelled out. It will be 3.5%. So the answer is option C. Sumit, 0.78 is not correct. This is profit value, not the profit percentage. Okay. बताओ. I hope this is all good, right? अगर कहीं भी doubt हो, then let me know. I am going to the next question, just so we can practice enough questions on every single day, right? Because the level of these questions are basic level. Some of them are really good questions, but the motive is to revise all the concepts from these questions, right? So if you have any confusion, then let me know. All right, this question, it says an article is listed at 65 rupees. A customer bought this article for 56.16 and got two successive discounts, of which first one is 10%. The other rate of discount of this scheme that was allowed by the shopkeeper was, what was the second discount? So one thing we can do is if I subtract 10% to this, that will be equal to 65 minus 6.5, which is equal to 58.5, right? Now if you take the difference between these two, 58.5 minus 56.16, this will be equal to 34 into, and this will be 2.34. Now 2.34 is what percent of 58.5, right? This is what we need to find. So required percentage is equal to 2.34 divided by 58.5 into 100. So remove the decimal, this will be cancelled out. 117 into 2, 117 into 5, 5 into 2, that is equal to 4%. So this is one way to solve it, right? This is one way to solve this question. Now other way that we can solve this question is using the multiplication factor. Using the multiplication factor, and what will be that? So take the initial 65 into 9 by 10, 10% discount, 9 by 10, and the second discount, let's say, is multiplication factor is something, and that would be equal to 56.16. 56.16. Now if we solve this, what we can say? Remove the decimal, 100, 00 cancelled out. 9 times 6, 54. 2 1, 2 times 18, and then 4. 65. So 13 into 5, and 13 into 4, 48 is 625. Now this will be 12, and this will be 12 into 4, or we can take this 24 and 5. This will become 24, and this will become 25, 5 times. So from there we are getting that the multiplication factor is equal to 24 upon 25. The multiplication factor is 24 upon 25, or you can also write it as 96 by 100. If you don't cancel out the 100, you get 96 by 100, which is nothing but 4%. So answer is option B. The second discount was 4%. All right. So both the methods you can do, but be careful about the calculations. That's the main part in these type of questions. For NMAT SNAP, calculators are not there. I think Aryan is talking about CAT exam, where you will find on-screen calculator, right? Okay, Karthik. No calculator for SNAP or NMAT. On-screen calculator is available there only for CAT. Chalo, let's try this one now. रफ शीट मिलेगी, यस, रफ शीट तो मिलती है. Yes, Aryan, approximate elimination option is best to solve this question. It says three partners altogether invested 1,14,000 in a business. At the end of the year, one got 337.5 rupees, the second got 1,125 rupees, and the third got 675 rupees as profit. So, what will be the total profit? Total profit will be equal to 337.5 plus 1125 plus 675. 675 plus 25, 700 plus 1100, 1800, 18 plus 300 is 2100. So, it's 2137.5. Now, as you can see that values are very small, you can understand that 1% of 1,14,000 will be equal to 1140 and 2% of 1,14,000 will be equal to 2280. So, what we can say 2137.5, this will be between 1% to 2%. If you check the options, option C is correct, and if you go to calculate this value, exact value, then it will take much more time and that will be of no use. It's good to be good in calculation, but you should always use approximation if possible. Okay, है ना? बताओ, is this clear? This number is between these two values, very close to this value. So, answer will be 1.9. कितना कम है ये 143 कम है, 143 कम है, तो 18.5 समथिंग. सुमित, उतना दूर करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, उतना दूर जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. If you are doing 855 upon 456, still that is cancelling out all the terms and finding the values. You don't need to do that. Just try to understand in percentage, 10%, 20%, 5%, 1%, 2%. These should be very clear, right? Whenever you are calculating percentage values, this should be very clear. Like, let's take one random number, 112 upon 437 is what percent? Okay, what percent is this value? So, how do you calculate this? See, 1/4 of this. So, 109 will be approximate 25%, 1, and then difference is 3. 3 will be very much less than 1%. So, this will be 25 point, let's say 7% approximate. है ना? 1/4 little bigger than that. 3 is left. 1% will be 4.37. 3 will be 0.7% something. So, you should do the calculation like this, 10%, 20%, 1%, right? है ना? About 25, what 25? 25 point something. But again, even in 25 point something, we are getting very accurate, 25.7, right? Chalo, let's try the next one. ओके ओके, ठीक है, अबाउट 25%. यस, तो जब इतना आता है तो करना चाहिए वही, है ना? Ayush, if you practice questions, Ayushi, and then you can become like that too. Okay, these questions, profit loss discounts. There are multiple ways to solve these type of questions, and if you are stuck in formulae only, then it will take some time. But if you understand the proper way to solve each type of profit and loss problems, you can solve them very quickly, just like this. A shopkeeper sells an article at 12.5% loss. If he sells it for 92.5 rupees more, then he gains 6%. So, what we can say? CP minus 12.5% of CP. CP plus 6% of CP. What's the difference here? The difference here is 18.25. 18.5. It will be 18.5%. 18.5% of CP, and that brings the difference. What's the difference? 18.5% of CP is equal to 92.5. That's it. From there you can get CP is equal to 92.5 into 100 upon 18.5. So this is exactly 5 times. So we get CP is equal to 500. Some people are able to solve these questions very quickly because they are not using pen page to solve these questions, right? Because they are understanding these concepts easily, taking the difference and then finding the answers. If you use pen page in these type of questions, so pen page यूज करने का मतलब है कि आधे मिनट तो एक्स्ट्रा चले गए वहीं पे लिखने में, बिकॉज हाथ उतनी स्पीड से नहीं चलता जितनी स्पीड से दिमाग चलता है, राइट? आपके दिमाग में बहुत कुछ है जो आप लिखना चाहते हो, लेकिन हाथ उतनी जल्दी से नहीं चलेगा. ओके चलो ना 7/8 भी करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है यहाँ पे. पेरिस 7/8 भी करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है ना. फिर 6% के लिए 53/50 करो, उसका कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. कंप्लीट डिफरेंस लेके इजीली सॉल्व हो रहा है. Ramesh purchased a bicycle for rupees 5,200 and spent 800 on its repair. So that will also go to the total cost. He had to sell it for 5,500. Find his profit or loss percent. What we can say? Total cost price is equal to 5,200 plus 800, which is equal to 6,000. And total selling price is given, which is 5,500. So loss percentage, the difference is 500 divided by 6,000 into 100. So 0, 0 cancelled out, 0 cancelled out. 50 by 6, which is equal to 8.33%, or 1 by 12. 1 by 12 is 8.33%. 500 का loss हो रहा है 6,000. 1 by 12. If you know the conversion easily, again you don't need to use pen or page to solve this question. So let's try the next one now. Good afternoon, Akul. Akul is busy in IMABC batch. He is reviewing, solving those questions. Dheeraj purchased 150 kg of rice. He sold 1/3 of it at 10% loss. At what percent of profit he must sell the remaining rice so that he can make 10% profit on the whole? See, 1/3 at 10% loss. So 2/3 at 20, profit, right? Instead of 150 kg, if you take 3 kg, the answer will be same. The profit percentage will be same, right? So one part was sold at 10% profit, है ना? And two part will be sold at what percent, so that the total will be 10% profit. So one part at 10% loss plus two part at X% profit divided by 3, this should be equal to 10, or we can say 2x minus 10 is equal to 30, और x is equal to 20%. ये आ गया, है ना? Allegation can be used here, yes, है ना? Allegation can be used here definitely. We have one part, we have two parts. This one part is sold at 10% loss. This is sold at X%, and together it will be 10%. So 10 minus 10 is 20. The ratio should be 1:2. So to make this ratio 1:2, it must be 10. So x minus 10 is equal to 10. X is equal to 20. You can also use that. This was sold at loss, so minus 10. This was sold at profit. The ratio of their quantity, 1/3, 2/3, right? This is 1/3 and this is 2/3. So ratio of their quantity is 1:2. Minus 10% x, 10% overall. So ratio should be 1:2. So x minus 10, 10 minus minus 10. So that's why we are getting x is equal to 20. So of course we can use allegation in these type of questions, right? Okay, Sumit, I hope that's clear now. Chalo, let's try this one. Aryan, this is going to be the last question for today. Again, tomorrow we are going to have our session on the same topic and we are going to discuss some fabulous questions. Now, in this question, it says a grocer purchased 20 kg of rice at the rate of 15 per kg. So, total cost price is equal to 20 into 15 plus 30 kg of rice at the rate of 13 rupees per kg. 30 into 13, which is equal to 690. This is the total cost price. At what price should he sell the mixture to earn 33 1/3% profit on the cost price, right? So what we can say, total weight, what's the total weight? Total weight of rice is equal to 20 plus 30, which is equal to 50. So 50x is equal to 690 into 4/3. Why 4/3? Because this profit is 1/3. So selling price upon cost price will be 4/3. So from there we can solve this one. This is cancelled out. This is 23 times, or x is equal to 92 upon 5, or x is equal to 18.4 rupees. So the answer is option C. ठीक है. $920/50 correct answers, right? चल बढ़. So that was the last question for today, guys. Okay, I hope that was a good revision for you, right? We were able to discuss almost every single concepts from profit, loss and discount topic. Now tomorrow again we will meet to discuss some more questions. All right. सर इस वीक आप LRDI के क्लास लिस्ट ले रहे हो बैच 1 में? अकुल, आई विल हैव टू चेक फॉर दैट. ओके, थोड़ा स्केड्यूल थोड़ा बिजी चल रहा है ना, तो थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो रहा है सेशन, बट जल्दी देखते हैं, जितने जल्दी होगा बैच 1 में फिर से LRDI रिज्यूम करते हैं. ऑल राइट, you can ask the management, okay, about that as well, so that we can have some sessions. Okay, चलो ठीक है, जल्दी LRDI की क्लासेस लेते हैं. आयुषी, ट्राई टू सॉल्व ऑल द क्वेश्चंस. अच्छा, LRDI की बात चल रही है, ठीक है. यस राजेंद्र, ये कैट के लिए भी 100% यूजफुल है जो हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं ना. आयुषी, LRDI के लिए कैट PYQ जो सीरीज है उससे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो, दोज शुड बी वेरी हेल्पफुल, है ना. चलो, ओके एवरीवन, बाय बाय.